You gotta pay them?
Nah, nobody thinking about the part of that. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah, man. So, man, yeah, I was enjoying that Nims interview, man. Shouts out to Gorilla Nims. I'm definitely feeling that. I was seeing it. I looked at the background. I like the fact that they was outside. I was like, okay, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But then, shouts out to Flex. Flex freestyle. You saw him do the freestyles outside. You ever seen his outside freestyles?
Yeah.
That's who I first saw do something like that. But it's a little bit
was
different.
Was it Flex? It was
No,
somebody else did it too.
Yeah, no, well, possibly, but
Rough Riders. They was outside. They're on a corner.
everybody's doing outside now. Matter of fact, now I'm thinking about it. Matter of fact, they got the corner. Was that High Life? The what's that dude name? Mike. The Asian guy. He been to Atlanta hip hop. He doing his own. He got his own thing going on. I think it's called High Life something. And they doing the corner freestyles. You might be right. I'm thinking you probably talked about something else. Matter of fact, Audio Mac, I think, did some stuff outside. But I'm saying Flex was the one that to me was like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was hard. They had Dave East out there.
Right.
They had Papoose out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Those are the ones I saw. And I think he's done some other ones. I just thought that was hard. And then but then to do the whole interview, I think that's another twist on it. You know what I'm saying? Right. With the High Life or something like that. I forgot the name of they show. They do the whole mic stand. They got like a whole little, you know what I'm saying, podium and all that.
Okay.
And it's on the corner and it's called the corner or something like that. But I like it though. It's dope. But yeah, shouts out to Gorilla Nims. Yeah. Shouts out to Cannabis who's on the show. I was really enjoying that. So I ain't seen Cannabis in a minute.
Since the Notebook. But all I can say is that everybody's on their podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody.
Shouts out to Debatable, Ring, the Bell.
Yeah, like, tell comment, a friend,
share. Tell a friend, comment, share.
Nah, that's a
fact.
Know
what I'm saying? Cats is being really innovative. You know what I'm saying right now. You know what I'm saying in this particular era.
Right.
What they call this era?
No, before we leave off of that,
okay.
Can Cannabis come back? Because Cannabis was on the show. That's why I wasn't gonna do a whole.
Can Cannabis come back?
I wasn't gonna do a whole Gorilla Nims show recap. I just wanted to lead into one. I wanted to respect the show.
Right.
Then lead into the fact that Cannabis was on it, and then ask you, can Cannabis come back?
As what?
As a could he come back into a battle? Could he do another battle?
Of course. I mean, come on, especially with MC War.
Right.
Like I think if Cannabis was to do a battle with MC War, he'd be in his pocket. And I think it'd be hard for anybody to get with him. Like, really hard because anyway, yeah, to answer your question.
I need to see or hear something new from him though.
I'm convinced. It's like riding a bike. I mean, it's like saying G-Rap wasn't,
but then,
that dude in his prime.
Yeah,
and Cannabis was definitely that dude in his prime. So it's like, I think if we was to give him the opportunity, you know what I mean? Like you just said just now, he's a participant. He ain't say, well, I used to. That's not something I'm doing. So I'm a participant.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Matter of fact, I'm about to reach out. Cannabis, I'm on.
Yeah, that's what's up. Go ahead. Dude. You were about to say something.
Nah, I'm just saying, Cass is being really innovative with the podcast and everything else to the point where, Jay-Z said, there's a whole question, would you take $500,000?
Right. Or sit with Jay-Z.
Or sit with Jay-Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? Cass been actually, wanting to sit down with the Jay-Z, you know what I mean? King Combs did and everything else. But then now, YG done took it to a whole nother level. They're like, yo, give me $1,000 and have a dinner.
$1,000?
$1,000.
What? Bro, we need to throw that dude a rack ASAP. Hold up, I'm taking note of that one. YG, 1,000 for dinner?
Yeah,
no
man.
Way. He's
before his show, like $1,000 before. You know what I'm talking about? So, but that's
right now he's booked up.
I mean, you know what I mean? I gotta clap for that because that's pretty innovative. And you know who else is doing that too?
Who?
Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Posted some pictures.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The pictures. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, your man did it. What's it called? Kevin Hart did it. Kevin Hart, he paid $1,000.
Oh, he paid $1,000?
Yeah, to see Chris Brown.
Yeah. So that's pretty dope.
Nah, that is innovative, man. Nah, that's crazy. But now, let me ask you. Okay, so 500,000 or a meeting with Jay-Z, a strategy meeting with Jay-Z. See, the thing about it is, because I think somebody, what's that new dude? Damn, I'm drawing a blank. He's an SG, EST. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's a new guy. I'll pull his name up a little later. He said that he would take it. He said that he would take the SG, that ESTGE, right?
Okay.
He said he would take it. Would you do that if it was you only got 500,000 in the account? Because to me it's different. See, because I think Jay-Z paid money for a Buffett meeting. Remember when him and Buffett sat down?
Right.
I think he paid for that, right?
Okay.
I think it was, remember? If I recall correctly, he paid for that. But he was sitting on a lot of money. So if that's all you got in the account, maybe you got another 5,000-10,000. Would you sit with Jay-Z or would you take the 500,000?
I don't know.
If I had a million, I'd definitely give him the 5. But if I only got 5, I'm using the 5.
If I could see, like, I look at it like our last New World Order. It was a ticket,
right?
But we put it together, and I feel like, okay, we got a product. So it wasn't like, okay, we took that and then we spent that.
So that's a good one. So now, if you're saying if Jay-Z's sit down was for a strategy meeting on a project, not saying
definitely worth it. Not saying that his sit down is not going to produce nothing, but a lot of time when you sit down with some people, unless you got to record it, miss a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of times
you got to record it.
I mean, yeah. You know
Shouts out to Harmozy. And I told you sat down with Grant Cardone.
Right.
He paid, it was only 100, right? You know what I'm saying? And with that 100,000, basically he must have got Grant Cardone to agree to him filming it. You follow what I'm talking about? So in him filming it, he was able to publish it on his own page.
Right.
And he gained from it as an entrepreneur.
Right.
And then he was able to,
also
give back to his followers.
And that equate to liquid.
Right.
So, but my point is, it would have to be. That's why I say I don't know. I would have, kind of.
It had to depend on the scenario.
Yeah. But sitting down with Jay-Z is not something light.
Not at all. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth $500,000. Let me say that though. I definitely want to say it's definitely worth $500,000.
Yeah, I mean. There'll be a time that we're gonna sit down with Jay-Z. We're gonna sit down with Jay-Z.
Shouts out to Jay-Z. I've met him a few times.
Yeah, I met him as well. Shouts out to Big Chuck. But anyway, my point is, in sitting down with Jay-Z, which we will do, it's gonna be on circumstances where I don't think we're gonna have to pay for it. It's gonna be like on mutual benefits. That's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you put your mind out there and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just think that's what's going to happen.
Nah, I'm with you.
It's the writing's on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like the writing's on the wall. But this is debatable. You know what I'm saying? It's debatable. What else? Oh, shouts out to Cameron. R.I.P. to his mom that just passed away.
His mom just passed?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know
I'm
how
sorry
you
to hear that, man.
I know how you feel. I lost my mom in 2021. So yeah, R.I.P. bro. You know what I mean? Hold your head. You know what I'm saying? Hold those memories. Look at them pictures. You know what I'm saying? Word. All right, but I want to make sure I say that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Damn, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. And, 21 Savage, was on My Expert Opinion, and that was pretty dope. And they were really talking about some real interesting issues, and they was talking about how much of a worker he is and how he strategically want his stuff to be organic. He wasn't really trying to pay for nothing, but his work ethics is off the Richter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay.
What's an example of that?
Well, one of the examples that I picked up from the interview is he wasn't waiting for his manager to do anything. He's doing it, whether his manager did it or not. So his manager was saying, like, a lot of the times, I'm told to do something, and before I even get to start doing it, he's already doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like his mindset, okay, yeah, I'm paying you to be my manager to do this, but I'ma still do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So however you could buttress it and help me, you could do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and go hard on my own. So I just found that work ethic was pretty interesting, and then the fact that he was explaining the majority of his time. 21 Savage was in the United States. It wasn't in London. You know what I mean? And just knowing his background, him coming up, and he used to come to the land in Georgia, Tamaray. So like when he used to come there, and I'm like, okay,
This is the
yeah, Dr. York established it with the in Eaton's in Georgia,
right.
But he doesn't bring that up. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's maybe a thing not to talk about. So I'm like, all right, maybe that's cool. That's cool. But then when you hear him talk in his thought process, you see how the information really played a lot in his character, molding his mind.
Shouts out to his mother and father.
Yeah, shouts out to them. You know what I mean? For his mother and stepfather, because his father,
mother and stepfather,
yeah, because his father wasn't there, so he say when he explained the story. But 21 Savage being a part of the tribe and being there on the land and being there around the time when the pyramids was being built and everything else, and then having his mindset, it just shows how when you have a child or a young person growing up, if you feed them with right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, whether they're in the streets or not, they're going to still utilize those thought processes to make decisions and the characters, like character builder type thing. So I want to say shouts out to him for that, because I really enjoyed the interview with him with Matt Hoffa, at my expert opinion.
Yeah, I did too, man. Shouts out to Orlando, man. Jersey City. Shouts out to Jersey City, man. I just saw him on Academics, man, talking about all the careers he was behind, man. I didn't even know. Speaking to 21 Savage, because he was tapped in with Sunny Digital, and he was like, yo, he was trying to tell Atlantic about 21 Savage back then. They was like, they wasn't. They said, I think he said he played Panda for them. He said he wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So he said, Academics was like, yo, so what was you thinking? He said, you thought it was something, you was questioning yourself. He's like, hell no, because I just had
right.
But shouts out to him. I didn't even know he was doing these interviews. And now I see that, I guess that I saw that one, the one populated from him and No Jumper. So I'm going to check that out too, man. But shouts out definitely the whole him and Charleston White that's just popped,
populated
the last 24 hours.
Wow.
I've been seeing little things going on. But between the two, and if I was Math Hoffa, I wouldn't even said anything, But I mean, I guess it depends on what you wanting to do. But this debatable platform would be really, again, like all I'm thinking, like, yo, it gotta be debates, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's gonna happen.
You gotta sit down.
We're gonna set it up.
Sit down and have these guys.
Man, we're gonna set it up for y'all.
Sit down and have these guys put their mindsets, on the table.
And you can't get mentally. There's no fighting.
But remove all the weapons.
You will get mentally defeated.
Search everybody. Remove all of the weapons from the because when he pulled the weapon out in Chicago or whatever.
Yeah. He said it was a toy.
Yeah, probably was. I believe him. You know what I'm saying? But either which way, the whole thing is like you remove all the weapons. You know what I'm saying? You set the you set the platform for the conversation, you know what I'm saying? And you get these guys to really, talk it out, because for us as a community, we do need, but what I like, I like about Charleston White is he do be talking about, he's you know what I'm saying? I think the difference between him and Polite, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Polite, shouts out to Polite, he's done a lot and reached a lot of people.
Yes.
I think, the difference, Charleston White is constantly talking about his involvement directly into the community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas Polite, he's talking about economic empowerment, but I think the balance, it would be good to see, that balance. So, because after debate, it's not just about, people talking about it, but then how do you implement these different things? So but either which way, I think Math Hoffa, shouts out to Math Hoffa, man. Like, I wouldn't even get into that. I would keep on your trajectory, keep interviewing these celebrities, man, these rappers, asking questions that I don't think getting asked on a lot of platforms.
Right.
I would say keep focused on that.
Right, for sure. Like, speaking on Charleston White, man, something just happened with him and Jay Prince in Houston, where he was doing, I guess, a benefit comedy show, and that benefit comedy show was supposed to benefit the youth of Houston, and Jay Prince put a stop to it or whatever the case is. But
allegedly, right?
Allegedly,
that's what he's saying. Right?
That's what he's saying. So so what he did was called the cops. Like, yo, look, I don't feel like the show right here is going to be
Right. The
safe.
cops or the feds? Oh,
Call the cops first.
Right, go ahead.
Call the cops and be like, I don't think this right here is going to be secure, safe, man. So like, I need you over here. He said, well, the cops said, well, if you're dealing with Mr. James, we scared of him out here. And Charleston like, yo, this the cops? Y'all scared of him? Like, he can understand. He said, well, I called the feds. So, and when he called the feds, like, okay, the feds tell him, well, who do you think gave him the paperwork for the interview he did with $1 million worth of game?
Right.
I'm like, well, damn. He's like, well, damn, so he canceled it. But he's like, yo, man, he only controls Fifth Ward. Anything outside of Fifth Ward is pretty, is game time. But but the thing about it is, the power that one person has, it goes back to what Bounty Hunter was talking about. Bounty Hunter was like, Bounty Hunter Jay was like, yo, look, this dude really do got respect and he really do got power, but he shouldn't be allowing these young guys to bring him out his character, coming to do interviews, threatening people, utilizing paperwork, where he's coming out there looking like Mr. T with all these different chains, and this is really true. So and it goes back to where you at as a person. You utilize your connections and your ability, your powers to do better. Change the community. Don't perpetuate bullshit, because what happens within the community that we look at out here is a two-edged sword.
Right.
It's literally a two-edged sword, because the same people that be rooting you while you're doing bad is the same people who's gonna kick you when you're down. It's the same people that want to trip you so you can fall down a little bit quicker. You know what I'm saying? But then the same ones that's rooting for you, or that's putting a battery in your neck, or that's trying to gas you up, but that same crowd is going to try to trip you so they can see you fall, because you got to a certain place that they couldn't get to. So just remember the climate that you're involved in. Remember the climate that you don't built up. It's an interesting thing, because Bounty Hunter had a lot of real points that, my man, you should not be coming out your character. Let your sons and them do those type of interviews, man. You never did that in the past, so why are you doing it now? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was real talk, and then now you're going back with a lot of different, it's like America. You can't fight all these wars and succeed, man. Like you're gonna be spread out thin. You can't fight with China, fight with Russia, fight with this person, fight with that person. Come on, you're gonna get worn out. I mean, I understand mob ties, but then all I can say is just keep it a buck and utilize your do good. Utilize your influence to change the lives of the youth. You follow what I'm saying? That's just where it's at. And selling narcotics and pills and whatever that's negative, that's going to tear down the community, is a super no-no. If you're an aggressive organization that's willing to inflict violence, then y'all should have something that y'all stand by. You should have something that y'all support, and the children, the women and children, and the youth of the children is supposed to be number first,
right,
because they're the future. You know what I mean? So that's what you should be wanting to fight for, protect, and everything else. But it's debatable.
Right. So So this is the guy. I'm just pointing out the Densut. The guy, I think his name is Chad Scott. That was a DEA agent who was trying to bring down Jay Prince.
Okay.
You follow what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Yo, this dude. I'm gonna pull the story back up, because I think I watched a little quick video on it. I might have read on it real quick. But yo, he went in taking this dude out, bro. You follow? I'm talking about this DEA agent. He's DEA. It says DEA here, but I saw the FBI was involved. They tried to come after Jay Prince. Jay Prince had his own connects, found dirt on the dude, and got dude removed, bro. Got him removed. And got the whole case dropped that was against him.
Crazy.
So yeah, so just to piggyback on what you were saying about what's your man name, Bounty Hunter, is that he basically his pull is incredible. You know what I mean? So yeah, for him to even mind you, remember even putting the whole Drake and Kanye, remember he put Drake and Kanye together for Larry Hoover. He just did that. It was that was incredible. Okay, for us, that's not deep in the streets, but we we tired of seeing, our people incarcerated doing hundreds of years, 50 years or whatever, you know what I'm saying, not getting fair trials, you know what I'm saying, because they're able to gather, you know what I'm saying, community, and then you throw him in super maximum prison. So of course we like, yo, giving another opportunity to Larry Hoover is a must. You know what I'm saying? So to see Jay Prince put that together, I thought that was incredible. So he's right. All of this is now deteriorating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That brand.
Yeah, come on.
It was just a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a huge stellar brand. So
what happens is before you know it, somebody going to take a pop shot at you. What for?
Right.
I'm the one that did it. Wow. They sitting inside. Yeah, well, that's the dude that did that.
Remember when Suge Knight got knocked out?
Yeah.
Remember Akon manager, right?
Come on, man.
He knocked him out in the
It happens, man. It happens because
in the barbershop or whatever.
Because you get to a certain and you got to watch these guys that get to a certain peak, right? And they stay there. The way they stay there is that they stay out of everybody's way and they stay quiet and they allow their reputation to live for them.
Right.
They allow their war stories to live for them. You don't see them out there intermingling with the youth. The youth don't care about what you did back then. It's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, so
are you stepping or you not stepping?
So you might have got caught into that. Yeah. Just because of what you said, they don't care about you
they're not
right now.
Bruh,
so he might have got caught into that, like wanting to, hey, I want people to see me now. I want this new generation to feel
these particular Grand Theft Auto kids don't care about none of that. My man, they don't care. They don't got the cloth is a different type of cloth.
Right.
They're not dealing with morals or code or ethics, respect. Respect is like you have to look at Arsenal. Arsenal
he is a younger generation.
Man, Arsenal, bro.
He's our generation. That dude is
Arsenal.
He got to be 40. Let me check it.
Arsenal is the epitome of how the youth look at respect.
I agree.
When you on how respect is viewed, that's Arsenal. Okay. And then the way he invites you to his, you know what I mean, and the way he raps at you, and the way he's on you, that's the youth right now. So when you look at the way Arsenal raps, and then the rest of the battle rap community took on that. Just like the battle rap community took on the nose thing that from Sirius Jones.
Arsenal battle rapper, the first thing comes up, Verse Tracker. Shouts out to versetracker.com.
Oh, shouts out to
They even got the Wikipedia up. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But my point is, you can't expect a youth like that to respect a Jay Prince, a youth from a millennial or Gen X to respect Bounty Hunter or any. They don't care about that gang shit.
You know what? It's you could liken it to battle rap, because think about battle rap. Battle rap they don't respect none of the old legends. I ain't see your battles because it wasn't on video.
Right.
So think about now you got these cats popping people on video. Like I'm saying, I don't know what happened with the young boy in New York. Right, remember the Bronx drill rapper?
Right.
The shot dude. He was popping. He was just he had G Herbo in his video.
Right.
Everybody was talking about him. Everybody was co-signing him. Cardi B was co-signing him. And then it's all of a sudden a video shows up with him popping, killing this dude or shooting him in front of some shop or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, this was like last year, 2 years ago. Y'all should know what I'm talking about. But the point is these guys. It's the same thing. They drill is on it's on camera.
Right.
It's on video.
Right.
Like you can see unfortunately they kills or whatever. So,
right. Like they'll sit in prison and be like, man, go Google
with battle rap.
Google.
Yeah. So with battle rap it's the same thing. Oh, we didn't respect Cassidy at first, right? Because it was like, we ain't seen your 100 and remember his 100 battles. We didn't see none of them battles. But then guess what? He was able to transition into the, you know what I'm saying? So now it was shown that he could, but I liken it to that. So, you know what I'm saying? But Cassidy was still at an age because he came into the business so young that he's still of an age that he could do that. You know what I'm saying? Come battle the young guys. Like, so when you see us bring older generations in, we're not trying to match them up with the young generation. We're trying to keep it evenly matched. So to liken it to somebody like to the street stuff, your man Jay Prince don't need to be out in the media. But everybody been saying that already. Man.
Yeah,
been saying
let your sons do the interviews, man, because right now you might have really blurred the line. He blurred the lines because now cats is asking how'd you get the paperwork.
Right.
All right. So if you got the paperwork from the cops, then how? Who'd you pay off? Okay, so you're in bed with them like that. You know what I mean?
So that's not that paperwork is definitely not something you could just pull. It's not public record.
It's open. The case is open.
Statements.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's open.
Yeah, I don't even know how that works.
My man,
I don't know how that works.
this is what I'm gonna say.
How that works.
I'm not gonna say I know how it works, but I'm gonna say this: it's open record.
Right.
If it's open record, the case is ongoing right now.
Right.
How you gonna get those paperwork that report that has victims' addresses, that victims' names, that got everybody's MO right on it? How you gonna have that and talk about that on TV, then show it like it's all good? Like, come on, how'd you get it?
Right.
Matter of fact. This thing has just happened. How'd you get it? You just walk into the police department and ask for it.
Right.
It doesn't make you look good. So if you got that type of clout, how?
Right.
You know what I mean? How? Your mob ties is like that. Were you able to get an open record on an open case that's happening right now? They ain't been to trial. They ain't dead. That's not on freedom of information. How? Like, how? You know what I mean? And what that does is shows, okay, you're so tied in with them guys, you're able to get that. That's on the flip side.
Right.
You're so tied in with them guys, you're able to get that. So at the same time, when other things happen, you're subject to be like, okay, he's that guy. So he got to be the guy that told him. He got to be the guy he had to be the guy that said when it was coming into the country, because he's that guy. The port. Shoot, if the port is on Fifth Ward, you the guy that know when it's coming into the port.
Is there
if there's a port,
I don't think so.
I'm saying I would hope not. If there's a port in Fifth Ward, if there's a port in Fifth Ward and something.
But we do know that it was tunnels up under there.
I'm just saying.
Remember your man, yeah, and then what's his name, Fat Joe, even for a minute was holding his podcast in the tunnels. Shouts out, that's how we started the show. We was talking about how people was doing it, being creative with their podcast.
Right.
And at first, you don't remember, he was doing this whole podcast inside of the cocaine tunnel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be, unless they created a scene, but it was supposed to be the tunnel that for El Chapo and all that they discovered.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know, but listen, man.
Right.
Utilize your powers for good, bro. Right now, we're in the end of days. You know what I'm saying? The end of the world as we know it.
Yeah, let's make sure
we're in the end of the world as we know it.
Exactly, because they never said it wasn't going to be. That's why they said hereafter, because there's going to be a here. It's just going to be after. And the funny thing, we was talking earlier, and it's like from the 90s, y'all remember we was talking about, you know what I'm saying, we was reading books from Dr. York, you know what I mean, we was hearing the different rappers talk about the Illuminati and stuff like that, and we remember cashless society, right, that was being talked about. It's real right now, you know what I'm talking about?
But y'all really got to think about that.
We was talking about that now. We was talking about one world governments and stuff like that. All this stuff, man, that was being talked about, you know what I mean? So again, we got to, and then, you know, this is something I remember Dr. York said. He said, listen, when you're watching the news, right, you look at the what's that thing called? The subtitles on the bottom, because a lot of times that's when the real information comes, because a lot of stuff that, you know, that's going on right now, you know, and we talk about it, we interested in it. Shit, we from the States, you know what I'm saying? We grew up in the same spaces, so, you know what I mean? Anything with Jay Prince, we're going to be interested in it. You know what I mean? The battle rappers, we're going to be interested, but you got to remember, it's other real things happening right now.
Man.
All across the world, from extraterrestrials touching down, from nuclear war possibly about to pop off, to global economy, you know what I'm saying, about to collapse. Like, you know, it's getting crazy.
I mean, how you gonna say it's weird?
Right.
The moment you say that it's weird that we're talking about extraterrestrials, you gotta really.
Somebody said it's weird?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's a conversation. Come on.
Now that was a conversation probably 10, 20 years ago, but now I don't think so now. I think cats' minds, because come on, they done seen so much stuff. I think now everybody.
Cats gonna say it's weird, man. The moment you say that it's weird, that you're talking about extraterrestrials, aliens and stuff, it's like you know, malfunction. You know what I mean? If smoke start coming out your ears, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Aliens. What are you talking about? Extraterrestrials, my man. That's what's happening. They got these unidentified objects in the sky that's not from the earth. So where is it from? So what they do is that you rather just not think about it. And rather not think about it, talk about it, is just say, I'm not looking up, I'm just looking straight. You follow what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
That's a fact.
What else you got?
Man, they just returned back to the pole to Native American tribe.
That's dope.
110 years later,
How that?
$45. It was stolen, then it was sold to a museum for $45.
How
And
that?
they finally getting it back. They call the Nuxalk Nation. I guess Nuxalk. So yeah, man, shouts out to the indigenous tribes. Yeah.
Yo, man, that's what's up, man. Getting cat. If y'all don't know, man, like a lot of people will say, yeah, I got Indian in my family. You know, I got. You know, you got good hair because you got Indian in your family. Well, yeah, you have to really identify that Indian that you got in your family. That's your badge of indigenous-ship to the United States, because not everybody was brought to the United States as a slave.
That's a fact.
We were there before you know the Atlantic slave trade. You know what I'm saying? We used to have voyages to the United States and the Americas, you know what I'm saying, as well as Europe. Like we would just get on the boat and have these voyages, you know, Mansa Musa and you know navigators before him. So it's like when you say I'm a Native American, you know what I'm saying, that's really a badge of honor. And that's a badge of identity. You know what I mean? That we really need to look into right now, because T.I. wasn't able to explain that. You know, he was able to say, in order for you to get reparations, you have to be a nation. You know what I mean?
T.I. said that?
Yeah.
When he said that?
On a summit.
Charleston White said something like that too.
He probably was repeating what T.I. said, because they were talking about reparation. T.I. was talking about reparation, and in talking about reparation, he said, "Yo, in order for you to get reparation, it comes from one nation to another nation, right?" And that statement right there. In order to get reparation, it goes from one nation to another nation. But as being black, you're not a nation.
No, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think, even though that's all 100% correct, but I think they're gonna find a way to cut checks, because you know they did it. You know, I don't know if you know
But
this
see,
or not,
that-
but
that
they did an experiment in the Bay, and I think it's currently going on right now, where they pay a group of people. They're paying them $1,000 a month.
Forever?
Just they're getting $1,000. Right now it's happening. Right now, don't believe me.
Forever.
I don't know if it's forever, but right now they're getting $1,000 a month, and the whole purpose was to basically see how it would stimulate the economy. Couple different concepts behind it.
Yeah, but see, with the money being fake, right?
Right.
The money being fake and the inflation that's going on, the balloon about to burst, a lot of that stuff ain't gonna work, right? And it might work for a hot second, you know what I'm saying? But you got inflation, you got the government debt, you got all these different factors that's going on right now. You know what I mean? So when it comes to going back to a nation, when you identify yourself like we are Sabians, and by being Sabians, it's like, you know, we're a collective of different indigenous Native Americans, and even whether you're a Native American or not, because you got, you know, Sabians that's in London, you got Sabians that's in, you know, Jamaica. I mean, you got Sabians that's in Canada. Point being, and you got Sabians that's like really everywhere. But the point of the matter is, if you are under this umbrella as a Sabian, you know what I'm saying, you're able to say under the rights of the rights of indigenous
Declaration
of the rights of the Declaration of the rights of indigenous people. You're able to say, okay, I want my reparation under that window or under that umbrella, and speak as a conglomerate of people based on that. Whereas by yourself, or as a Christian or Hebrew Israelite, or a 5%er, or, you know, I'm just black, I just want mine. It ain't gonna work like that based on what T.I. was talking. But we come as a mass, a group of people, right? And then we subscribe and under what's recognized, which is the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. You have a better foot to stand on, to have a dialogue, a conversation about such a thing as reparation.
That's actually what Charleston White was saying. Something similar to that. He basically was saying, going to the United Nations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he specifically said as a nation, but he definitely was barking up the right tree as far as that goes. Now, I do want to say that, just, you know, to let y'all, you know, to just continue what I was saying about them giving this money out, and that I think they still going to give money to descendants of Black Americans. You know, you're gonna have the nations come out of this, those that know enough, you follow what I'm talking about, and those that, you know, have the confidence and strength mentally to say, okay, I'm willing to do such a thing. Everybody not gonna do that. they are, I think, gonna give checks down to people of black descent. That's what I think of descendants from quote unquote slaves, right? Because slave is Slavic. That's a whole nother tangent we
Right.
could go on that I'm not gonna go on right now. But what they've shown from a study is that when that $1,000 was given to those black families, was it good or bad? Take a guess.
It was good.
It was definitely good. It showed that it was actually reinvesting the money. You follow what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Actually stimulating the economy, creating small little businesses on the side. You follow what I'm talking about? So I think it's dope.
I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a
I'm gonna
bad
say
thing.
this.
I think they might try to shortchange you.
I'm listening to what I'm saying. I know first of all, I know my identity. Like, I have what's it called, self-determination, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? But you should look it up. So self-determination. I'm able to decide who and what I am. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yet you go ahead and cut that check. I'm gonna take that too. I'm gonna take that check, and I'm gonna take the other check. Now, of course, if there's small letters that says, "Oh, if I take this check, I can't get the other check," you know what I'm saying? But come on, listen, man, cut the checks. That's all I'm saying, because we know how to utilize it. What's it called? The studies show it's a fact that once we get the money, we're gonna create business. And they was talking about what's going on, I think, with the PPP and all. Listen, yeah. But either which way, I just want to say, cut the check.
So what do you think about that new video I dropped about Young Thug?
YSL Woody is what they call that guy name. I don't know what to say. I just know that it's a movie right now. Like, it's a certified, like, they got a movie on their hands. BMF, after BMF, give it about 5 years, YSL, the movie, guaranteed. Guaranteed, because that joint looked like straight out of First 48. Straight out of First 48. They ain't give him no McDonald's. He ain't even have no Mickey D's. But they was trying to protect the dude for a minute. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that, you know what I'm saying, it ain't that serious that for people to be getting killed over, man. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, we tying ourselves into shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's, listen, man, RIP to my cousin. You know what I'm saying? My cousin was killed over some drug stuff. And that's why I ain't never want to get mixed up into no drug stuff. And I remember one of my mans, he was into the drug business. He's like, yeah, you ain't gotta kill nobody. Yeah, but man, listen, man, like, yo, people, come on, man. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know, man. It's like, it's magnetizing the worst of the worst when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying, that world. You know what I'm saying? Because even when I remember in Atlanta, they ran down on the dude with the weed. They killed the dude for weed, bro. You don't remember that? That shit happened a couple times where they ran up in his house and shot him and stole away. I'm like, yo, this nigga selling weed. Like, right. Listen, man, y'all could keep it. It's so many other different opportunities to be able to make money. So many other spaces, and that's why, we got to get out there. We got to see the world. We got to travel. You can't be so connected to your neighborhood and all that, because when you are, then your ceiling is low. You're not able to see. All you can see is drugs or this credit scam, this scheme, that scheme. You know what I'm saying? If you can't, go on YouTube, Google different people, Google different mentors, Google different successful people, seeing what they're doing. But you know what I'm saying? But it's too many places that you can make money, you know what I'm saying, for us to continue to still be inside that same business, and the result is the same. And the result is people doing long times in prison and people dying, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that I took from it, is like, me personally, I think he's still gonna get off. I think Young Thug is gonna get off, because it's so much stuff publicized. Like, how can he get a fair trial? Like, he's not gonna get a fair trial. They can't even get the jury together, you know what I'm saying? So I think he's gonna get off, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, yo, it's not that serious that these lives gotta be getting lost over what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? That's my take on it.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, definitely, it's a sad situation. You know what I mean? I hope that watching what's going on with Young Thugs make better decisions. because like they didn't. You know what I mean? I just feel like you don't have to go through that whole Tony Montana phase. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up for me, like I wanted to see a key. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. I wanted to see a key. I wanted to the music that I was listening to. That was what I was pushing in my mind. That's what was going on by. But then as an adult, you get older, like what's that for? Because once you get caught. Once you get caught, you're out. You know what I mean? You're out. You know what I mean? You're like you're locked up. You're gone. So I do hope that young Thug is able to see through it and then come out and speak sense into the community.
Right.
So he can show the community that this is not the way. You know what I mean? It's not the way out. It's not the way. You know what I mean? Because he has that ability. But we're just living in a very interesting day and time, man. Like it's not cool. At the end of the day, it's not cool.
Nah,
People are dying, and plus the money is fiat. The money does not have any value.
Right.
So this whole thing that you're doing, you're really making money for them when they lock you up or they cut you open, take out your guts, take out your liver, take out your heart, take out your eyeballs, take out your teeth, and then sell it on the market. So either which way, you're not creating generational wealth for yourself,
right,
for your kids, for your family. You put yourself in a system that is basically based on fictitious instruments. The fiat is fake money. It's not real money. Real money is gold and silver. So and right now they're about to reset the clock on that, man, because the money is just inflating, and they're like, okay, they're about to digital currency. And once they do digital currency, you know what I'm saying? And plus, if you're sitting on $100 million or $100,000 or $50,000 and you have that money in the bank, take it out the bank, because right now they could take that money out. They could take that money, because when you put money in the bank, you're actually investing into that bank to do what? Not make loans, do trades. You follow what I'm saying? So like these are the different things that you got to really look at and think about.
And
man.
today was the second time I heard about that place, that country called Cyprus in Eastern Europe, or one of them, somewhere in Europe. The country's called Cyprus, where they took money out of people's accounts. I'm talking about 250,000 plus. They was taking it, and then they've been giving it back. This was, I think, in 2013. Right, and they started giving people ration in small parts. So when I heard the lady talking today, he was listening to this lady talk about the economic system, and ever since we came off the gold standard, in what's it called, when Richard Nixon, right, and a couple people, Robert Kawasaki talks about it, and also there's another guy, man, he manages a lot of large hedge funds, man. I forgot his name, but he also talked about, they identify when that happened, like everything was changing. So that's the second time I heard that. So it's a fact. We need to be aware of it. I was also gonna say, like, cats getting money, because what I noticed was, that in Atlanta, it's a lot of young black professionals getting money, but it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? How I know that? There was one guy, I think I talked about it on this show previously, and I told Denzel about it. It was a YouTuber that he be going asking people what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he see them pull up in a nice car. He pulled up on Waka Flocka. He pulled up on Bandman Kevo, right? Yeah, he pulled up on Bandman Kevo, and then he just asked them what they do, and then they start dropping jewels on them. Well, every time he pull up on most of them, they be quick to be grabbing on a gun, you know what I'm saying? Or like, like in preparation, like somebody trying to rob them. So I'm just thinking about that, you know what I'm saying? Like the safety, like y'all gotta be thinking about that too. You gotta put yourself, if you're making money already, if you're not making money, that's one thing. First thing you need to do, you need to get around people making money. You get around the people making the right money, you know what I'm saying? Say they around, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, even if you gotta go to another neighborhood, hang in a Starbucks where the money's at, where, talk to people. Don't be scared to network, right? But for the people getting money, they got counties like Prince George's County in Maryland, which now has the richest, it's the richest black community, per capita. Like, whereas Atlanta one time had the most black millionaires per capita. Now Prince George's County. I've been hearing about it for a minute, but when I was hearing Dentush speak, I was like, no, let me go ahead and bring this county up, because crime is pretty low over there. You follow what I'm talking about? This is not Baltimore. This is Prince George's County. You know what I'm saying? What's that? The Long Island train, whatever. I remember when I used to record with my man Al Kane. Shouts out to Sugar Cane or whatever. I used to get on that shit. Used to be packed, like you know what I'm talking about, with nothing but white people going way out. You know what I'm saying? Far and wherever they going, guess what? Crime is less. So we got to be able to do the same thing because the chances of you getting killed is double the chance of a white person. Because for every 100,000, it's 4 white people killed for every 100,000. It's 8.1. Some statistics say 9 for every black person. You follow what I'm talking about? Nine out of every 100,000. It's 9 homicides for every 100,000 for black people, and it's 4 for white people. So that should tell you, one, obviously they're not in the environments to put themselves in that situation. And so this is what we got to be thinking about too, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna become like your environment. But why I brought Prince George's County? Because guess what? You could be around black people, so or other minorities, so it don't be a situation where like you moving, you disconnected, you gotta move with, because the whole thing is, I gotta move with the white people move, so on and so forth. And that's first step, because that's just and that's just my 2 cents.
Hey yo, shouts out to Ice-T, man. Mm-hmm. He just got a star.
Yeah, man, that's right.
On the bill, on the what was that, the
Hollywood Walk of Fame. But wow, that's the first thing came to my mind. I'm like, why Snoop got one before him? Snoop and 50 Cent got one before him. But it might go back to the police stuff that he was doing and saying back then.
He wasn't available?
No, he was saying fucking police. And he had a
lot of controversy out.
Yeah, so I think that might have, you know what I'm saying? Because he been on television. Right. He been in that show forever.
I probably balanced it out. That show.
But that's why I still kind of figured, shouldn't he have had his star before them? You know what I'm saying? He older, he came in before them. But hey, man, as long as he got it, he's still alive, he's getting his flowers. That's what's up.
Hey, yo, man, this is what we do, man. We feel like this type of level of conversations for smart people, and battle rappers are smart people, man. So, it's debatable, man. And then you're going to watch us evolve. You're going to watch interviews, you're going to watch, like House of Cards was breaking down this a while ago. We're going to have these guys have these debates. These great debates. We're gonna have these great debates. Right now we're just planting the seeds for y'all so you can understand the tone of what we're doing. And also, these guys are not gonna just have these conversations and go away. We're gonna find solutions to these problems. We're gonna find solutions. We're gonna create solutions, and we're gonna be a master in our community.
That's good. Okay, y'all.
Debatable.
We'll see y'all again. Peace.